Hey guys, welcome back. Guess what it's time for? Review time! I absolutely love doing closet reviews. And today we are reviewing Rachel's closet. But hold up, the moment of truth. This is going to be the most epic YouTube review we've ever done. And you want to know why? Because Rachel has asked us to review not one, but both her Poshmark and her eBay closet. So hold tight. This is going to be a long video, but it's going to be full of so many tips and tricks that I think will really benefit pretty much everybody. So without further ado, let's get started. So first of all, Rachel, thank you for giving us the opportunity to do this. As I said, this is the first time I have ever done a double store review. And honestly, I was kind of curious about what this was going to look like, but it has honestly gone really well, and I've really enjoyed going through your closet and really figuring out kind of how to compare and contrast and make them work. Before anybody asks, Rachel is pretty new to eBay, so we do have a limited view on what they look like, but let me tell you, this girl has been killing it in the less than 30 days she has been on eBay. So again, we're just going to jump in and see what we can do, but as of right now, we're going to go ahead and start with the Poshmark closet. So, general overview, I like that your closet looks very crisp and clean. Most of your items have a pretty clear background or have very minimalistic backgrounds. Generally, I like that it does look crisp and clean. I love this profile picture you have. I don't know where this came from, but I kind of need the deets on it. So if you could send those to me, it's honestly just gorgeous. I love that when I went to your about profile that you were active in this last hour, that your average ship time is a day. You do not currently have any love notes, which we'll talk about later, but because we're here, I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. So Rachel, going on for you, I do have a list of items that we're going to talk about, and I'll again send you this document as well so you have it to refer to. But we're going to kind of go into a few very specific ones of your listings. I have 3 selected here at the top, but we're going to talk about each one and kind of go into detail about what that looks like, and really kind of go into it. So this has an active offer. This was not like this when I did your review. So that is exciting. I'm happy for you. So let's go ahead and break into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is going to be photos. So just looking at this item, you can tell that it's a 2-part item. It does look like you have a couple duplicate photos. You have opportunity to maybe make room for other photos, but ultimately not a huge deal. I will see or tell you that I do think the lighting is a little bit weird between like the original and then these ones compared to the next one. So it does seem like there might be a little bit of a lighting issue with where you're currently taking photos. But again, not super detrimental. It just might be a little bit confusing for your buyers as to what color is the true color. I did love that you included like a close-up of the actual size of the item and the tag. I just think buyers love that. I can't see fully what this tag says, but I do like that you included it as well. I find that buyers really enjoy having the material percentages, which you did include in your description. So because those are there, I'm totally cool with the fact that I cannot read this yet. I also like that you included the weight photo because that does show the buyer. Not so much on Poshmark since it's more flat rate, but on eBay that you are legitimately calculating shipping. Shipping, let's be honest, guys, has been kind of outrageous lately. It seems like every time I turn around, USPS is jacking up those prices, and it does make it a little bit more difficult for buyers to want to purchase with shipping being so expensive. However, I do think that having the actual weight in the photo does show them that you are making a conscious effort of not overcharging them for shipping. But generally, like I said, photos look pretty good. We'll look through these. Again, I love that you included all the tags. You show the brand tag here. You show the style tag. You also have this close-up of the percentages here as well with the style numbers. And we are actually transitioning into starting the SKU process. So I really like that that's included as well. I don't know why we didn't do it before, but guess what? We're doing it now. The only thing I was kind of confused on is that I didn't see any measurement photos. And I also didn't see any measurements in your descriptions. That's something that I honestly do think is beneficial for you to add to your store. Just because I know we get a lot of questions based on how, like, the measurements, waist measurement, rise measurement, chest to chest. There's a bunch of different ones, but I do find that it is beneficial for doing so. Only because then when those buyers are reaching out to you, you already have that in there. So whether you choose to type it into your description or you choose to do a photo of it, I think either would be completely fine. Generally, photos look good. One thing I did have on the specific for the figs pants is I would look at maybe separating these a little bit. Maybe almost doing like pants off to one side and then the top being like in separate. Honestly, just like scrolling your closet, when I was quick looking, I was like, I have no clue what this is. And then obviously looking at it, I realized, but that's something that I think would be like a pretty easy cover photo even. So maybe do again, like a photo of your pants, like kind of folded, and then the shirt in another corner. I'll have to see if I can come across one. But I do think that would be beneficial. And then you could do a single photo of just the top and a single photo of just the pants, just to kind of give them an idea. You do have one for the pants, but I don't see one for the top. So that's maybe something, again, I would add for like your multi-item listings, but again, not a huge deal breaker. Let's talk about the titles. So I do see a great variance in your titles. Some are very complete while others just are not. You'll see here in the bold that I did go ahead and copy and paste your titles over, and then I put below it what I would list it as. What I put on here is that for the figs, you might consider separating the items, and here's why. The scrub top is a Rafaela top and the pants are a Zamora. So they're two completely different styles. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that throughout this review. But I'll kind of explain to you as why. It would also help if I actually spelled scrub correctly. So that kind of helps. You put figs, scrub set, Rafaela oversized top, and Zamora jogger pants, burgundy size M. Honestly, I wouldn't change a whole lot about that. Maybe a little bit of the order here, which you can see. If you split them, obviously you'd have to redo the title. But with them being a mix of style names, I did like that you included both of that so that the buyer does know for sure what they're getting. You could also add words like nurse or healthcare, or medical or anything along those lines. For the democracy, put democracy women's indigo wash, AB solution, straight leg, boot cut jeans, size 16. First shout out is you typically are not going to have straight leg and boot cut in the same phrase. So the jeans are either straight leg, which means from the top of the leg to the bottom, they're straight, or they're boot cut, meaning they flare out at the bottom. I do believe this based on photos, these are boot cut. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the boot cut or the straight leg piece, and I would list them as Democracy Women's Indigo Wash, AB Solution Jeans, size 16W, boot cut, whiskered stretch. Those are all things that are going to be important. Again, you can kind of make your own decision on what these actually look like in person, but based on this like edge here, to me, they almost look kind of flared. Again, you'd have to look at them in person and make the decision. I don't know if it has to do with the wash on the front, but like I look at the back and I'm like, well, maybe that is more straight leg. So honestly, I couldn't quite decide from the photos, but I do believe, unless it's just the lighting here, that they are boot cut. And then your whiskers you have right here. I always think that those tend to add value as well. You could do like the paneled waist. There's a lot of different things you could put on here. Stretch is gonna be the biggest one. That's why a lot of women love these pants, is the stretch. So I would definitely include that. You could also do the rise. It looks like these might be a low rise or a mid rise. So you could include that as well. And then the last one we have is Docker Signature Khaki Men's Cotton Button Pocket Straight Pants, size 34-34. I would list this as Docker's Men's Signature Khaki Pants, size 34-34, straight leg, beige, pockets, business, career, something along those lines. Let's move into listing details. You have some pretty epic descriptions. You have the title in here again. You did put red just to kind of fill that out a little bit. You have that the shirt is sleeveless. The pants have drawstrings, so you obviously add some details there. You have the sizing again. You have the materials. You have machine wash, so I think that they'll enjoy that. You have the condition. And then again, you have letting them know you'll answer any questions. And I love this, like, thank you for shopping. Like, I don't know. Honestly, that makes my heart happy. I don't know why. I do also like that you included style tags, like the healthcare, the brand again, and that they were scrubs. Generally, like I said, descriptions are pretty good. The only thing you might, again, want to add, you can decide photos or description or none. It's ultimately your store, is some form of measurement as for like waist, rise, and inseam. If you're not getting any questions, honestly, I need you to tell me how you're not getting questions, because we get so many about every single opening, length, anything of pants. So if you have the magic trick, I'm pretty sure all the other resellers watching this would love for you to tell us what you're doing, because we need that too. Let's talk about buyer demand. So let's talk about the sell-through ability of each item. What I did is I went ahead and comped each one of these items that I selected, just to see what the general sell-through rate of those items were. We're going to start first with figs. As a whole, for this figs setup, meaning the Rafaela top and the Zamora jogger pants, as a whole, there are 21 available and 48 that are sold. So pretty good sell-through rate. That is more than 200%. So whoop whoop, that's awesome. Definitely something that I would pick up, hands down. But humor me. Let's talk about the options for selling as an individual item. So if you sold, I'm going to skip ahead for a second. The pricing on your figs, you have marked at $60. When I comped them on eBay, I would only be able to sell those for about $40. If you comp them as they, Rafaela, I believe, was the style name. Yeah. Rafaela scrub top in the same size, you get a sell-through rate of 26 available and 42 sold. You can sell that for $25 by itself. If you do the same thing and comp just the pants alone, there are 67 available and 144 sold. So really the Zamora joggers are the more desirable of the two. Like that's, again, over 200% sell-through rate. And you could sell those for $40 by themselves. Total for $65, which gets you closer to the pricing you were looking for in that bundle, where I do think you're going to have to accept an offer on that bundle and only get to $40. So just another kind of thought for you. If it were me, I would look at separating them and listing each one of them individually. If somebody wants to purchase them as a bundle, then again, they could get a discount for doing so. You could even put a note on that, like bundle with a scrub top, get a 10% discount or whatever that looks like. But I would honestly, if it were my store, I would separate them. Just me. Democracy jeans, you had, when I searched those, there were 5 available and 8 sold. Again, more than 100% sell-through rate. And then we have the Dockers. There are 17 of those available and only 6 sold. That being said, out of all of these things that you picked up and I've selected, I would for sure have purchased both of the figs and the Democracy, and I would have left behind the Dockers pants. Dockers in general for us just don't have a great sell-through rate. I'm not saying there's never any that do. Sometimes we're surprised by the like everyday brands that you'll have specific things that sell well in, but unfortunately the ones that you picked up are not trending well currently. Overall percentage for your listings on Poshmark, you have 135 listings. You've sold 5 listings in the last 30 days, which is a percentage of 3.7%. Your goal is to have 10%, but you also have to include other platforms. So as a whole, between eBay, Poshmark, I think you also said you were on Mercari, you would want to see at least 10% to be typical on average with where you would want to be. Okay. So 3.7. So as long as we can get a little about 7%-ish on eBay when we do that review, I think we'll be in a good place. Let's go into pricing. So pricing for your figs, you had listed at $60. I would have priced those at $40. Now we already kind of talked about the opportunity for separating them. I do think you would make more money by doing so, but again, I'm not going to go down that whole rabbit hole with you. Just thought it would be a good opportunity to bring that up. Democracy pants, you have marked at $38. I would sell those for $25, and if they were in my store. And your Dockers, you had marked for $35. I would mark them for $14, and I still think I'd have to do a discount and accept offers. That being said, generally looking through pricing on your items, again, I only actually comped those 3. Some of them do seem to be a little bit priced higher. I do understand that this is Poshmark, and I know Poshmark you do have to accept offers. So I know we actually increase the prices on Poshmark sometimes in comparison to eBay, just because we understand that we will have to accept offers. But again, kind of moving forward, you might want to consider how far is too much for the price variance. Generally though, like prices don't seem to be really off the wall. I just think that you might want to hone in a little bit, be a little bit more realistic on some of those prices. And same thing with titles. Some of these titles are so full and so full of detail. And then we scroll down and I have this one that's listed as dress. I definitely think you have the opportunity for more detail. I'm not even sure what this brand is. I feel like these might be the same dress, just different colors. So I'm not sure if there's more detail that we can add to it. Can we add color? Can we list it as unbranded women's, like green, white striped dress? If it's called a Prague dress, we'll call it a Prague dress. V-neck, short sleeve, tie front, nautical. I think nautical for both of these because of the white stripe. There's so many different details we could add in, on some of these listings to just make it more cohesive. But honestly, I'm impressed. I don't know what it is about these shoes too. I freaking love these shoe photos. They are so pretty. I don't know if it's just like the photos on the back or this like what looks to me like an old chair. I don't know. I like them. So telling you that too randomly. Looking at love notes, we did mention we don't have any love notes yet, but you are also pretty new to actively selling on Poshmark. So those will come with time, I believe, if you continue to sell the way that you are. We are going to switch this over to the eBay tab, and we are going to switch over to eBay and go through the same process with eBay. There are going to be a few things that I'm going to skip around on just a little bit because we already talked about them for Poshmark. But I feel like it's a good opportunity to cover some of those items. So on to eBay we go. I love again that you carried over this photo of yourself. I do think you would be able to add a banner in the back, just to kind of brighten it up or to add some more about yourself. I did look at your about section and I love this. It says you're a Southern mama, wife, and entrepreneur who loves to find high quality items for a deal and share that savings through resale. Like, I think that this is going to just make people love you. I mean, I think they already do from this photo anyways, but it's just great. I love that you like tell them a little bit about yourself, that you are a mom, you're from the South, you're a wife, you love finding high quality items. I think the high quality piece lets them know that like you're not just somebody selling junk out of like the depths of your closet that's been destroyed. Like, you are somebody who loves going out and hunting and finding good items and then offering them great deals. I think that's going to make them be really excited. I love that you added your last name in here to kind of add some value. I guess relatability leads me to really what I'm going for. It's more relatable for them as to what that looks like. And really connects you to the store and it not just being just a business, but it's like a dream. Like, I don't know. I just love that. Maybe I'm going down a rabbit hole, but I think that the buyers will absolutely love that. So I did check out the same items. It does look like you're using the same photos as what you were on Poshmark. I honestly feel like you'd be crazy if you didn't. Why would you want to do extra photos, right? Same thing applies. All of these are the same. One thing I really want to look at is the drop downs that you selected here. So I love that you're clicking a bunch of the options. So you have the brands, it's not personalized. You have the size, you have all the materials. I like that you're even picking where it's from. Not that I feel like that you have to, but I think that that's a really good opportunity to really click as many of the drop downs as what you can. However, back up. You are not clicking items that are not valuable to the item. I can't tell you how many closet reviews I've seen where people pick things that are just completely irrelevant to what the item actually is. And I think that that makes it a little bit more difficult for them to really find the items. I know eBay sometimes picks some like really random things to just like autofill. It seems like you're really looking for those and you're dragging them out and making it a little bit easier for buyers to find. So I love that you've selected as many of these as what you have. Same thing applies. Maybe add a banner. We talked about that. Photos look the same. Titles look the same. I did want to look at pricing on these. 50, 35, 50, 35, and 35. I think 50, 35, and 35. So your prices are about the same on eBay as what they are on Poshmark. I might, you might consider a little bit, even if you want to keep the higher offers on Poshmark or keep the higher amount on Poshmark because of offers, you might consider making a lower price on eBay, just knowing that buyers typically aren't making offers on eBay. I don't believe, okay, yes you do. You have all of these listed, well not all of them it looks like, a lot of them listed as OBO. That does obviously open up the option for that. You do have some that do not have best offer. So those that you don't have best offer accepted on or open to on, you might want to consider maybe pricing those a little bit lower. Generally, we always try to price eBay stuff just a tad bit lower than what we do Posh to give us the option for offers. Your overall percentage on eBay is 22%. So I think the other was 4 or just about 4. So that is 26% in sales over 30 days. I think you mentioned that most of your stuff is listed on Poshmark, but eBay seems to be the better sales platform. I 100% agree. I would definitely start shifting more of your items over to eBay because it does seem like your buyers, you do have a lot of good items that I do think would sell well on eBay, and you might be able to get a little bit more out of them on eBay than what you might on Poshmark. So I would definitely get to shifting some of those over yet. You do not yet have feedback on eBay. So I would definitely get this shifted over. Those will come with time as far as the feedback goes. Additional takeaways. Again, add some additional photos, whether that's measurements or putting measurements into your listings. I would be more consistent on listings each day or setting active each day. Looking over your Poshmark active, the 21st you listed 8, the 20th you listed 7, the 16th you listed 12. So it seems like you're not consistently listing every day. There might be a couple days in between when you're setting stuff active. Before the 16th, it was the 10th. So you just kind of want to make sure that you have something going active every day. You can choose to have it in drafts ready to go, have the photos ready for you to just upload and set it active. But I would definitely plan on having the majority of that stuff done and ready to go. If you're going to list, say, a total of, we'll say, I'm just going to say 70, easy math here, 70 items a week, you would want to do 7 a day. Even if you sit down in one day and list all 70 and have them ready to go, you would want to separate that and do 7 or do 10 a day for 7 days to cover all of that. That way eBay and Poshmark know that you're being active every day, and it helps kind of drop you or drag you higher in the search. As far as reliability, I think you were looking at 700 items. You said you wanted to plan to list about 100 to 120 each week. So the way that I would look at doing that would be to take 100, we'll just say 100. We'll go low end here and divide that by 7 days. You would want to list about 14 items each day. And then one day or a couple of days you might have additional. So just kind of gives you an idea. That's what I would shoot for. On eBay, it does seem to be you're less consistent on eBay. The 22nd, you listed 1. The 21st, you listed 6. The 19th, you listed 18. The 12th one, the 10th, 10, the 9th one, the 8th one. So if you're cross-posting from Poshmark to eBay, I would definitely look at posting on eBay more consistently as well. You might also even consider listing on eBay first because it has most of the details, and then cross-posting it over to Poshmark as like a secondary option. But again, totally up to you. This is your store. This is your world. We're just living in it and giving you suggestions. So and I would, again, make sure that you get listings put on every single platform that you have. If Mercari is one of those like whimmy things for you and you're not super consistent on it, I would say focus on being consistent on one platform first and then maybe go into multiples. But start on one, get good, feel consistent, be regular with that. Once you're good with that, then I would add a secondary, be consistent with that. Once you're good with that, then you could add a third or add as many as you'd like. But I would really think that to really boom that business, the consistency piece is the piece that you're missing. And I think that that's what you need. That's a lot. That's like, I'm pretty sure 30 minutes of straight content for you on your store. So as I said, Rachel, we will send this over to you and you'll have this to kind of look back over. I hope that you enjoyed this closet review. Honestly, we really appreciate you giving us the opportunity to look it over. Closet reviews specifically. Poshmark closet reviews are my favorite, but I also love eBay as well. And I really honestly enjoyed our first opportunity to do 2 at a time and really look through both sides of the closet. If you have any questions, Rachel, please reach out. Let us know. I'd be glad to answer any questions for you by email, help make sense of any of these so that we can help you work through getting your store to the place that you would like it to be. For all you YouTubers watching, thanks for joining me for another closet/store review. We appreciate you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up because that is a free way to support the channel. Thanks for joining me today. All right, Nikki out.